Business Saturday.
Welcome to Small Business Saturdays video series with your host and my husband.
And my dad, Aaron Montgomery.
Join the conversation.
Let's talk some business.
All right. Well, welcome into Small Business Saturdays. My name is Aaron Montgomery. And for those of you catching this live, you'll obviously notice this is not a Saturday. So Small Business Saturday got pushed back until Monday night because I was over in Louisville, Kentucky at my son's volleyball tournament, last volleyball tournament of the year. And they had their one travel tournament this year, and that was it. So we had a blast. Internet was a little hard to come by. So instead of doing a really bad, chunky phone version, I decided, you know what? Let's wait until Monday night. So here we are. Welcome into Small Business Saturday on a Monday night, and looking forward to talking to you guys about fake it till you make it. Right. And that's what we want to talk about here today. So if you are joining in live, jump on in and say hello. If for whatever reason you come up as a Facebook user, if you'll just head over to StreamYard.com/Facebook, that will let me know who it is that I'm talking to there. So looking forward to having some interaction with you guys. So let's talk about this whole concept of fake it till you make it. So we're almost through. So this is what, 26th of April here. We're almost through the first month of the second quarter of the year. So that makes us about 35% of the way through the year. So the question is, do you feel like you're 35% towards reaching your goals? So that's, we have to ponder that, right? We need to be regularly kind of making sure we're on track, keeping tabs, that kind of thing. And, I can tell you that I'm not where I want to be right now personally. And so I've been trying to take a lot of stock of why, so outside of kind of feeling like I'm dragging a huge weighted sled up the side of a really steep mountain. That's the feeling I get some days. I also get myself stuck with self-doubt, worry, and this whole question of, why do I deserve to succeed? And that's the part that is, with that self-doubt, with that worry, with this, why do I deserve to succeed question mark, it's a challenge from day to day. It can be. Now, fortunately for me, I've got a really strong why that's deeper. And I know that I need to, on those tough days, fake it till I make it, right? Being motivated by your why. That's why we want to work on having a strong why to start with. But then once we get there, right, how do we get over some of those days? Okay, so I've got the strong why. Yes, I want to do it. But how do I keep moving forward? And I think when we talk about fake it till you make it, most people, including me, we really struggle with that word fake. So anybody that's tuned in live now, if you have a better word than fake that we can use, please feel free to pop that in there and we'll share that. But, we don't want to be fake, right? We want to be authentic. But here is the reality. The only thing holding us back is our self-doubt. So faking it means faking out our self-doubt. It's not faking being somebody we're not. Under all of our insecurities, under all of those worries and doubts, is that person who deserves to succeed. And I know without a doubt that everybody has that underneath. Now, some people have it buried a little bit deeper than others, and that's okay. So when we talk about faking it till you make it, it's not really about trying to fake other people. We're trying to fake our insecurities, our self-doubt. We're trying to kind of overcome those negative things that have been built over the course of a lifetime. And we're going to fake those things so we can get to that successful person who's underneath all that. So here's the way I kind of think about it. Think about nature, right? Nothing just happens instantaneously in nature for the most part. Let's say we're planting a tree. We have to plant that seed, and to me, when we have to plant that seed, nature's kind of faking it till you make it, in a sense. So you plant the seed, and for a bit, it's just that same seed in the ground. But through the nurturing of the soil, some energy from the sun and water, it'll slowly start to grow into that mighty tree. It's a process, it's a cycle. It's the same for us in our success. We have to be planting the seeds, which is taking the actions, and then nurturing those seeds by being persistent, accepting the feedback, believing in ourselves, surrounding ourselves with the right soil, the right people and thoughts, right? That's our soil. And that's to me how we can kind of look at that is, nature is kind of faking it till they make it. It's there, this little seed. What is it going to become? And then after time, it just starts to grow, and then it grows some more, and then it grows some more. And then over a longer period of time, it becomes this mighty tree. But that little twig had to pretend like it was a tree first, right? It had to not fall over. It had to weather some storms. It had to push itself out of the ground. All of those other things had to happen before it knew it was going to actually be a tree. So when we talk about fake it till you make it, that's the first thing I want to get through to everybody, is that we're not talking about faking being somebody you're not. We're talking about being that person who is underneath all of that insecurity and self-doubt and faking out your own internal blocks. So that's the fake part, right? Is faking those internal blocks. So here's what I want to do. I want to start by looking at a success principle first. So this is from the book, The Success Principles. This is principle number 12. And this principle is called act as if. So when we talk about act as if, this is, to me, a perfect principle as it relates to faking it till you make it, because we have to start acting. We have to start talking. We have to start behaving. We have to start doing what a successful person would be doing. So we're looking towards people that are already successful in what we want to be doing, right? And so we need to look towards those people, look towards those situations, and we need to start acting as if we are that person, right? We need to wear the clothes. We need to behave a certain way. We need to get rid of some of the maybe questionable behaviors, and we need to start acting like we're very successful, and we need to start being that. So here's a really good example of this whole act as if idea. So if you're not a golfer, you might not totally recognize both these names, but they're pretty well-known names. So a gentleman named Jim Nance and another gentleman named Fred Couples. So those two guys, and again, if you're not familiar with them, look them up, because you'll find all sorts of information about these guys. Two very incredibly successful guys in their field. And what a lot of people don't know is that they were actually suite mates at the University of Houston. So they were close friends in college, and they would regularly act out the scene where Freddie Couples would win the Masters in golf, and Jim Nance would then interview Freddie in the clubhouse and present him with a green jacket. And they would act this out over and over and over and over. And here's the great part. 14 years later, the scene, nearly identical to how it played out in their college dorm room, played out for them in real life. Fred Couples won the Masters. Jim Nance was the announcer that announced the winner. So that's acting as if, right? They acted as if they were going to win the Masters. They acted as if they were going to be a national broadcaster presenting the green jacket to the winner. They acted as if, and 14 years later, it became true. Now, it didn't mean that they just acted as if and then it just boom. No, they had to work at it, but they started acting as if, and that started helping them gain momentum to start learning what they needed to do to get to their specified level of success that they wanted to. So, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Facebook user, if you don't mind, heading over to StreamYard.com/Facebook. That will get them to let me see ya. But again, I know that this is a Facebook thing, and they just don't like when we go live in these groups. So it is what it is. I will check the comments afterwards as well. So thank you for being here, though. Hello. All right. So we talking about principle 12. We talked about acting as if, right? We need to start acting. We need to start talking. We need to start behaving. We need to start doing the things that a successful person in our place would do. All right. So that's number one. Now, here's the cool part. Back in January, our success group members, you guys had an opportunity to join us at the Future You party. And that was exactly why. Hi there, Missy, smiles to you. And Facebook user, hi. Sorry, we're not seeing who you are. Again, it's StreamYard.com/Facebook. If you can pop over there and just give StreamYard permission to allow Facebook to let me see who we're talking to here. Sorry about that. Facebook is real picky about going live in groups, but this is an opportunity for me to share with you guys, the Our Success Group members. So we want to do that. So, all right, back to what I was talking about there. So we had that Future You party back in January. And that's exactly what that Future You party was all about. It was our opportunity to act as if. It was a chance that we could all pretend like we were at where we wanted to be 5 years from now and show up there and start acting as if we were behaving as if. Kylene says, loved the Future You party. Yeah, I think it was incredible. And honestly, I'm so proud of everybody who showed up. I was a little nervous. It seems a little hokey showing up and pretending, playing and stuff like that. Every single person that showed up played all out, stayed in character for 2+ hours and did a fantastic job. It was amazing. And because of that, we all had that experience of like, oh, this is what it feels like, right? We got those feels. We got that ability to go, okay, now my brain knows here's how I have to act if I'm going to get to those places, right? So what did you show up to that party talking and acting as if? I've got so this is my book that I carry with me everywhere. As you can see, it's a little beat up because of that, but that's okay because it is. Let's see if I can find the page real quick here. This is my signed copy. So signed by Jack Canfield there. But I also have taped to the inside of it my book cover. All right. Fundamentals of Business Success by Aaron Montgomery. I'm working on writing this book as we speak. So I'm trying to act as if I'm not an author, never been. I know very little about it. I'm fortunate that I've got some people around me that might be able to help, and I'm just going to start asking, and I'm going to start doing, and I'm going to start acting. You have to act as if. So what did you show up to that party talking about and acting about? And then how can you remind yourself daily? How can you act more like that success you'll be at the end of the year, at the end of this decade, at the end of your life? What are you going to do to act as if? All right. So that's the first thing. When we talk about faking it till you make it, the first thing we want to do is we want to just act as if. Play it out. Think about it before you go to sleep. Dream about it. All of those things. The more details you can get figured out in your brain, the easier it's going to be. So the more you think about it, the more you act as if, the closer you're going to get to your idea of success. And their Facebook user says, Future You party was amazing. Yes, it was a blast. I can see us having that as a regular, maybe annual occurrence. If we can do it more, we'll try to figure out a way. But as we get back out of the COVID pandemic here, hopefully soon, we'll start looking at other opportunities to do Future You parties, because yes, it's very powerful. It's very fun too. I mean, that like I said, I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. You guys were gonna go, okay, Aaron has lost his marbles. But you didn't, and I'm so proud of you, all of you that showed up and acted as if. So I want you to keep acting as if. Find ways to do that. Have your own come as you'll be party. Have your own Future You party. Get some neighbors together once a month and do something like that. Any way that you can find an excuse or a reason to act as if, it's going to help you get closer to success. All right. Now, good evening. Thanks for tuning in to Small Business Saturdays on a Monday. All right, good. So let's talk about one other principle here before we wrap this up. And I've got quite a bit more on this one other principle, so I think we still got some time, but happy to talk about your guys' ideas, what your thoughts are, bring all that information in here. But let me talk real quick about another principle from the Success Principles book here. And oh, cool. Ree, wonderful. She says, I plan to host one when COVID lifts a bit more. Oh, that's awesome. Please let me know. I know you're not too terribly far away in Indiana. I always love opportunities to participate, so I'd appreciate that. All right. So with that being said, let me get back to, so the other principle I want to talk about today is principle number 14, which is called just lean into it. And there's a Chinese proverb that reads, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Thank you, Ree. Awesome. I'm excited. All right. So one more time, Chinese proverb, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So when we think about that, we have to take that first step. We have to take the one action. Then we have to take the next step, the next action, and next and next and next. When you lean into it, you are starting to build momentum. So with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen here for those of you guys on catching the video version here. In fact, everybody that's watching live right now is catching the video version. All right, so let me put this up there and see how that shows up for us. There we go. All right, so this is the art of success, right? All right, so with the art of success, I want to get another screen up here in front of me, so I've got it. So when we talk about, we just want to lean into it. We can definitely use, so this is a flywheel. And if you guys have seen my Conquer Fear seminar, then you've seen this already. But we can use this in a lot of different places, and same with leaning into it. So we can use this flywheel to gain the momentum that we need to be successful. So with that, the first phase is planning. We want to take that brief moment of making that decision. And when I talk about planning, I'm not talking about spending hours and hours and hours, but just making sure you think about it real quick, right? That's enough planning. Let's think about that action. Let's just make sure that we take that pause and we develop a quick plan. And again, that doesn't have to be this long drawn out plan. This just has to be, okay, is this the first action? Is this the first step? Is there smaller ways I can break this down even into smaller actions? Let's find the first and easiest thing you can do, and then we're going to grow it from there. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to take the action. This, like I said, this came out of the Conquer Fear and Live to Tell about it. But we're going to experience any fear, and that's okay that you're afraid of it, but just do it. Take that action, lean into it, right? Just take that one small action. And then once we've taken that action, then we're going to experience the results. And this is the part of the flywheel that many of us miss, because we do want to take as many actions as we can, but we don't want to really let those actions sink in, right? We need to take in the experience of whatever that action was. We have to, without any expectation, without any preconceived notions, we just have to take in the experience, good, bad, indifferent. And we can't let our perception of what the results should have been skew this opportunity to just experience it. All right. So did the result possibly mean something else or lead to a different but better outcome? Understanding those kinds of things. So we want to experience the results. And then the next thing we want to do, and again, this is why I say a lot of times we miss that experiencing the results. We want to dive right in to analyzing and learning. But analyzing and learning actually only happens if we took that previous step of experiencing the result. We need to just kind of be with it for a second, and don't let our emotions cloud any of that, but understand what it makes us feel, what that action made us feel. So now that we know that, now we can actually analyze it. We've fully taken in the experience. Now we can analyze the results, and we take those results as feedback. So analyzing and learning, it really just means what's the feedback and what can we learn from it? We want to look for clues for better actions to take in the future. This doesn't mean that we have to overanalyze it. This doesn't mean that we have to think about it forever. We just have to look for clues. And if no clues pop up right away, no problem. Just find the next action. Make this happen. Accept the results. Again, just like experiencing them, we just want to accept those results without any preconceived notions. And don't let those results dictate your momentum. So that's why this is a flywheel, right? We want to just keep it going. We don't want to leave a whole bunch of gap in between one step to the next here. So we want to take that next action. And here's the best way to do it. We want to start with high intention of the desired results. Okay, we're going to do great. This is the thing that's going to work for us. But we want to leave with low attachment to the outcome, meaning if this fails, it doesn't stop me from continuing to go. I don't care what the result is. I care about the feedback and the experience that I gained and getting that one step closer to success. So if we don't do that, right? If we don't have high intentions and we instead have really high attachment to the outcome, what's going to happen is we're going to stall and we're going to stop. And we might miss one of the most key things that can happen for you is that more often than not, when one door closes, another one is probably going to open. So we have to keep taking those actions so we can see those doors opening. And we just have to build that momentum. We need to keep pushing this flywheel around. And this leads to success as long as you're listening to the feedback and making those adjustments. And this is, to me, where everyone's talking about when they're saying, get out there and hustle, right? We want to do all these actions. We want to take a bunch of actions. But I believe that hustle is actually really overused. And if you can realize kind of the true context it should be used in, hustle's not about how fast or how big you can go. It's about how many actions you can take. And again, small bite-sized actions. How many can you take? How many times can you put this art of success into motion for you? Hustle has nothing to do with the results you're getting and everything to do with the number of actions you take and are moving in a positive direction. So if my idea of success is what are results from taking an action a day, then that single thing a day is hustle for me. But again, hustle's overused. So if your goals are bigger, you got to take more actions. If you're just keep pushing around, because here's what's going to happen. Don't let that momentum stop. With any flywheel, it's that initial push that is the hardest. It's that getting going. It's that building momentum. But once you start that going, it becomes easier and easier and easier. And then it starts moving on its own. What feels like almost its own. Yes, we have to keep pushing it. We have to keep taking actions, but the actions get easier and easier and easier because we've learned, right? We've done this art of success. We've experienced a result. We've analyzed and learned, and we continue to do this. So the people that we see that are successful have just taken more actions and learned more quickly from failing because they're actually got a process for this, right? They're experiencing it. They're learning from it. They're not having any preconceived notions or judgment about good or bad. It's all about just doing that next thing. All right. So with that being said, let me take that down for right now. Get back here for you guys. All right. So that's kind of my idea here on just lean into it. When we put this art of success to work for us, so we just lean into it, we can begin to take more actions. So we have to stop overanalyzing and just do more. The best part is the more you do, the more you stay out in front and can confidently know you're on the right path. And here's the great part. Okay. I feel getting beyond the stall is harder than the first step. I think that's a really good point. That first step, you're fresh, you're ready, and you're going to take that first step and you start pushing that thing around. But then when you stall out, when you stop pushing it around and you kind of stall, now you've used up that initial energy, but yet you're kind of back to really having to push hard again. So yes, if we can overcome the stall and just keep it going. And I think that's, to me, why it's so important to not overly analyze things and just to keep taking more actions. The more you do every day, the easier that flywheel is going to be to push around. and you'll have a less likely chance of having the stall, even if whatever an action you take is what you would consider a monumental failure. If you go back and you think about experiencing that without any attachment to it, and you analyze it without any attachment to it, then that won't slow you down. You'll keep going, but you have to analyze it without any attachment. Otherwise you will stall out. So that's a good, it's like overcoming Mondays. Totally. It's like overcoming Mondays. But again, and that's why I think it's important to always have, kind of something daily, even on your days off, and days where you're kind of, okay, yep, Mondays hit us upside the head like a ton of bricks sometimes, but they don't have to, right? We can chunk that down. Yes, you're going to have to probably deal with more customer issues or, things that happened over the weekend or whatever. But if you have a system in place, then, if you kind of block out some time on Sunday and plan your week, then Monday's just like every other day. Again, what's going to be coming at you. And the more you do it, the better your system becomes. The more you work on that system, the better that system becomes. See, all of that stuff. So, really good points. Thank you guys for jumping in there and sharing your thoughts. Keep them coming. Just hit the mic. Sorry about that. Okay. So, real quick, just kind of back to wrap this up from my side. And again, want to listen and interact with whatever you guys have to say there. But when we put this art of success to work for us, and we want to just lean into it, right? I mentioned this, but we can begin to take more action. And like I said, we just have to stop overanalyzing it, but just do more. And here's the best part is the more you do, the more you stay out in front and can confidently know that you're on the right path, right? You only have to be a step or even a half step ahead of your customers for them to absolutely love you and look to you as the expert, right? So if you go, oh, well, I haven't put my 10,000 hours in yet, or I haven't mastered this, that doesn't mean that you're not the expert. It just means that there's somebody that is more expert than you can look to. So that's perfect. You've got somebody that you can look to. You have to just keep doing more. But as long as you're staying just that step or half step ahead of your customers, you are the expert, right? Just by taking time to watch this, you're better off than however many other people are in this decorating community, than the 8 people that are tuned in right now. So the self-doubt and the worry, those go away because you're taking actions, and actions will show you feedback that will clear up those doubts. We only have time to worry when we're not in action. When we're in action, we don't have time to worry. We're just taking action. So be in action more, be inside that art of success of planning, quick planning. Am I doing the right thing? Think about it. Okay, cool. Take the action, experience the results without any preconceived notions or ideas or letting the feelings get in the way. Just understand what it is that happened, good, bad, or indifferent, right? Don't change it because you think it should have gone one way and you feel like it was a failure. Just take it in, use that information to plan or to learn so you can make the decision to take the next action, and then take that action. And if you can stay inside of that cycle, worry, self-doubt, all those things go away. You don't have time for that. Be in action more and the worry goes away. It's when you stop and overanalyze it. And yes, I know we need to work on the business, but make that an action, right? Build that process. We all do. Facebook user, right? I need consistent action to keep the worry away. And we all do. And I don't care how good people are out there, the people that have gotten closer to that self-realization, certainly less need for them, but still a need to be in action. They need to be in action. As humans, we need to be in action. That's what we're made for, right? We're made to grow. We're made to succeed. We're made to expand. And the only way we can do that is with action. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I need consistent action to keep worry away. So awesome. All right. So that's what I've got for you. Quick 30 minutes here tonight, but what else do you guys have? Any other questions at all there? Let me give you a quick recap here, right? So we need to overcome. We need to fake it till we make it. And when we talk about faking it, we're not talking about faking who we are. We're talking about faking our self-doubt, our worry, our why do I deserve success devil person on the shoulder, the negative, the critic, the whoever your bad person is inside your head. That's who we're faking. We're getting to who the real you is. The real you is that successful person underneath all that. And again, depending on where you're at, you're going to have more layers to get through. And that's okay, because just like nature, once you put that seed in there and you start, as long as you keep moving forward, you keep nurturing it, you keep water, soil, getting the positivity around you, we can succeed. So the first principle to go with here is to act as if. We just, again, have to start acting, do the future you parties, do all that stuff, act as if we're that person. And think about this in everything that you do, right? There's no time off in this. So if you're, if you're me, then I need to make sure that I'm acting as if all the time. So I've got to get better every day. If you're you have to be acting as if you are what you want to be successful as. There's no, oh, okay, I'm just going to let it slide today. And that doesn't mean that we don't get to rest. It just means that we have to get to that higher person and be that higher person as often as we can. And, notice when we slip and do things to not slip back to that other person that is that negative blamer, complainer, and all that kind of fun stuff. So principle 12, act as if. Principle 14, we're going to just lean into it. Again, we got to start, and we're going to put that art of success into play. We're going to be taking action. And again, like I said, I feel like hustle's overused, so I don't like to use hustle, but I want to talk about action, right? And action shouldn't feel like hustle. Hustle I don't know, coming from somebody who played sports as a kid and still fairly active in the sports world, hustle is like, just run over here because, right? And I don't want, when we're talking about our lives, hustle shouldn't be a thing. Hustle is like, I got to do it. To me, hustle should be left for sports. So for what we're doing, I want to just take more actions. I want to be in that state of success as often as I can. And to be in that state of success, I have to be taking actions. So anyhow, that's my little quick take on hustle versus taking action. I want to just take action. So let's take action. So there we go. That's fake it till you make it. Let me know if you guys have anything else. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. We've got a Masters of Success call coming up here in a couple of hours. So I just want to make sure I'm double checked for that and get a few other things done yet here today. So hopefully you all had a great weekend. I will be back next week on Saturday, as far as I know. And Kylene, if you're still here, just double check me on this. I don't think we have anything planned this weekend for once. So I get a weekend at home. Actions is way better. I like it. High five. Bye hustle. Let's go actions. Awesome. All right. So Kylene, if you're still here, I don't think we do. I can even look at my calendar here real quick. I'm pretty sure I haven't looked that far ahead yet. All right. Nope. We're good. Okay. So, thank you, Kylene. She says, I think you're in the clear. All right. Oh, Tina. Yep. I don't know why it is either. So, yeah. Facebook loves to do that. So it is what it is, but thank you, Tina, for being here. Appreciate that. And like I said, I'll jump into the comments here and I'll know who said everything. So you guys are all good. Okay. So this next Saturday, Paige, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. This next Saturday, and we'll come back to, I don't know, 8 a.m. Central Time. I need to find out what's best for you guys. But for now, so we keep it consistent until we can get a more consensus time, let's just keep it at 8 a.m. Central Time. You can go back and check the recording if that's too early for you on the West Coast. But next Saturday, 8 a.m. Central, I will be doing a quick Facebook ads 101, just some very simple stuff. Facebook's can be a real big challenge to get into the weeds on. And I'll just have stuff up, and we'll go as deep, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can about Facebook. And we're going to talk about uploading your customer list as an audience, using those audiences, and get into some real super basic stuff with Facebook ads. All right. So with that being said, that will be Saturday at 8 a.m. here on Small Business Saturdays. So I'm looking forward to doing that next Saturday. Also, got Tuesdays with Todd coming up on Tuesday. This Friday over at Two Regular Guys, we've got Vic Autry joining us to talk about B2B marketing. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, Missy, it is early. I'm sorry. You can do it. You can do it. It'll get your Saturday off. You take a nap later that day. All right. And we might change the time after this week, but since I said we're going to do it at 8, we're going to stick with 8 and try to stick with that as best I can. And then this week I'll get a little poll going inside the group there and find out if we can find a convenient time that works for more openly across the field there. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you guys again, actually on Saturday, not on Monday. All right. Thanks for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.